Hi there everybody, it's Verity here from inkybutterfly.wordpress.com. Thank you for joining me today, and we are going to be doing a variation of this card today. Loads and loads of dimension on this, and it features quite a few of our punches. So a lot of my cards will use a lot of die cuts and things like that, but it's not always the most affordable option. Although you will see that I have snuck in the Stitch So Sweetly on the background there, but that's completely optional. You could just cut another panel or leave it out altogether. So that's what we're doing today. We're just going to mix up the colours a little bit. So I've actually got Rococo Rose and a bit of Blushing Bride in here, and these little sprigs are actually Sahara Sand. So that's what we've created in our sample. So I'm going to put that to one side, and we're going to do a similar card, but we're going to use some grey granite and some seaside spray. I've also got some vellum there to do all that. Already pre-cut my card base here. This is in Very Vanilla. I've got another layer to go on top just to add a little bit of interest in there. This is actually 1/4 inch smaller than I would normally have it, so this is 3 3/4 wide by 5 1/4 high. So we're going to get that straight onto our card base, which is just a regular card base cut at 4 1/8 and scored at 5 7/8 of an inch, and we're just going to apply that to our card front, leaving it an even border. It just adds some interest and stability to the card without necessarily introducing any additional colours. And our Stitch So Sweetly panel, also in Very Vanilla, is going to go on there, and I've actually got some dimensionals behind there, or rather the edges of some dimensionals. So when you've used up all your little hexagons, don't forget that you can actually use the edge strips as well. Don't let them go to waste. Okay, so that's our base done. Okay, and we want to do some of our stamping now, and our punching rather. Okay, so I'm just going to put that to one side for a moment and bring in our other elements. So the punches then, we've got the small bloom, which we need 3 of. So this was a carryover from Celebration, which was absolutely amazing, from last year that is. So we've got 3 of those, just with a piece of scrap of white cardstock there. We're then going to use the medium daisy, and we're going to do 1 in Seaside Spray, and whilst we have it, we're also going to do a couple in the vellum. And while we've got the vellum in our hands, we will use the sprig punch. Oops, that's got tangled up in there. There we are. Sprig punch. We want a couple of these. I'm going to sneeze. Bless me. 2 of those. So again, just wiggle it out of your punch. That's that. And then we also need a couple of sprigs from the grey granite as well. Okay, so quick as that, we've got loads of stuff that we can actually start building with. But before we put away all punches. Let's do one more. So we're going to use a scrap of Very Vanilla there, and we're going to use the rectangle postage label punch. And I'm going to use the Seaside Spray ink pad to stamp our sentiment. I've actually taken that from one of our annual catalogue stamp sets, which is one of my favourites, called Fancy Phrases. Really like this, really nice vintage, but we're going to use Birthday Wishes. Like I said, this is Seaside Spray. And we'll pop that down onto our Very Vanilla, just like that. And we'll use our postage label to punch that out. So when you're cutting around a sentiment or something, just if you turn it over like this, you can get it nice and centered as you want. Okay, that's going to want some dimensional on the back there. So these are my little bits and bobs that I've just cut the edges around. Cut the edges, so there's a couple left, but I've cut the edges so I can make use of those. So there we are. Right, we can start building our card. I've also got some of the Seaside Spray scalloped edge linen ribbon here, and we're going to cut that in half, and we're going to use glue dots to secure that to our card. By far the best thing for adhering ribbon. Okay, so I'm just going to use a little pokey tool thing, and we'll put one piece about there. We'll work around it, improvise, right? And we'll put another piece sticking out here somewhere. Okay, and we can then trim those ends off at an angle that suits you. Something like that. There we are. And our sentiment's going to go over the top of that. And then we'll build the flower around it. Okay. So we'll pop that somewhere about there. Okay. Okay. So flowers then. So I'm going to bring in a silicone mat, which will help you see what I'm doing. Should just pick that up. Silicone mat is really, really cool. What is it? It's about 6 inches square. Yeah, 6 inches square. And it really is a nice little time saver on your, and keeps your desk nice and sticky free. Just putting some shape onto those just quickly, not particularly in a uniform way, but I'm just going to do that. So I'm going to just use some wet glue to layer together this flower. So we're going to have the vellum underneath, the Seaside Spray on top. Build it up, line it up as you want. If you want it a bit higgledy-piggledy, that's fine. I'm not going to fuss too much with it for the purposes of today. Same with this, we're just going to add that to the centre as well. Just a bit of wet glue. Just hold that just for a second or two, so that it grabs a bit. There we are, so that's kind of stuck enough. We're going to do the same with these. We're just going to add some, just cup them up a little bit. Turn them over. That looks like it's all good. Right, so now we can start adding things to our card. So we're going to start with the large flower and build around that. So if we just add some glue to the back of there. Oh no, I didn't want glue actually. I wanted dimensionals because I want it to overhang here. So what we're going to do is add 2 dimensionals to this actually. So we're going to add one and then add another one on top. That glue I've already put on will dry, it won't be a problem. So that will nestle in, you see, because that's raised onto dimensionals, and then this, because it's on 2, will sit proud of that as well. Okay, we'll add in our little other little flowers underneath here. As well. Tuck him in under there maybe. Okay. And then we can add our little sprigs as well. Same with the vellum. Isn't it cute? So just tuck all that in. Any little bits of glue that you can see right now will dry clear, so you don't need to worry, it will disappear. You may want to just make sure that those pieces are actually making contact with something underneath, so that they'll actually stick. So that one's just moved a bit, so just want to make sure it's in contact with the card underneath there, just for a moment, so it sticks. There we go. And now all we need is some bling. Okay, so we're just going to use our plain rhinestones, and I'm going to use one of the larger ones for this sort of focal flower, and we're going to use the little teeny tiny ones just to add something to the little background flowers as well. Could do them all the same size if you want, it's entirely up to you. But that is it. What do you think? Is that alright? Where did my sample go? There it is. So there we go, we've got a pink and a blue version there. And I just wanted to bring in another card that I've made with similar products, which I actually did for a little bit of a colour challenge using Balmy Blue, Bermuda Bay and Black Brew Bliss there. Now this uses the nested label dies, but you can see I've used the same punches with the vellum to build the flowers in a similar way. So there's a different version using similar products. Again, just to give you some more ideas of what you can do. As always, there's going to be links in the description bar below for all the products I've used. Please do check it out, and if you click on those, they go straight to my shop if you would like to purchase anything. Always happy to have new customers. And of course, until the end of February, don't forget we've got celebration going on, so you'll qualify for free products if you spend over £45. And also, don't forget there's that great joining offer, so you get all that free designer series paper, all that lovely pattern paper. Oh, so gorgeous. Thank you very much, everybody. Please stay safe. Take care. See you soon. Bye.